The Be the Change conference takes its name from Gandhi's injunction that we be the change we want to see in the world, that we role model the future. In fact, it's the only way to get people to learn something is to role model it effectively in a positive way. And so you see many of the speakers here already practicing the activities, the ideas, the values that we want to see in the world in the future. Why do we need to change? We don't have a choice about change anymore. The young people of the world are in for a wild roller coaster ride in this world because of climate change. It's not just gentle global warming and won't it be nice to grow bananas in the north. This is a hot age coming. Now we can slow it down enough to buy a little bit of time. But by the time my grandchildren are my age, among other things, about 10 million Bangladeshis will have had to move uphill or will have drowned. And everything will be different on this planet. Our species cut its teeth on about a dozen ice ages, but we've never faced a hot age before. The polar caps are melting. If they melt completely, that's a 70-meter rise in sea level. There'll be too much in the ocean, too much water in the ocean, not enough on land, wild storms may be giving you a deluge once a year. How are we going to collect that? How are we going to drought-proof our deserts into green ecosystems? Things we already know how to do and are starting to put in practice, but people need to know about this all over the world, that it is possible. So a lot of the older people, my age and even younger, seem to be terrified by what's coming down the pike, but they're not even going on this roller coaster ride. So I think that the hot age coming is the greatest pioneering challenge in all human history. It's going to draw on every ounce of caring, heart, creativity, you name it, among the young people of the world. And I think that's a very, very exciting thing. It's not the end of civilization, it's not the end of science, it's not the end of education. I hear all these. It's the beginning. This is, the young people today are the first adults of a new millennium. It's all just starting, and it's yours to pioneer, and you don't have to clean up the mess we've made, you just have to stop making a mess. Stop doing the stupid things we've done. Make friends across the internet with people that the old people call enemies. One speaker just suggested use the internet to have internet pals in Islam so that the children learn to love each other so that they don't make war anymore. You see, it can disappear in one generation. And I see young people not practicing greed, not interested in racism, wanting to create, to give to each other, and that's exactly the way the future should be. To a certain extent, I think that we can pressure existing governments into responding to the needs imposed on us by climate change. They will have to get out of the oil age. We're going to have to save energy, and we can do more by saving energy right now than even by reducing emissions and things like that. But it all has to be done at once, and we have to lobby our governments and push them. That's what democracy is all about, that we get to tell them what to do. That's what it's supposed to be about, at least. Now, I see young people starting movements like, there's a wonderful college campus movement now starting in the U.S. called Do It in the Dark. It's a great title for it, and young people in dormitories on campuses are competing who can save the most energy. We can brush our teeth in the dark, we can do this in the dark, we can have conversations in the dark. This kind of thing, when it catches on, will also catch the imagination, I think, of some of our representatives. So we have to push them to do it. Of course they're resistant. Older systems are always resistant. A caterpillar, when it has crunched its way through the ecosystem, leaving a swath of destruction, hangs itself up to sleep, it's bloated, and its skin turns into a chrysalis, and inside the caterpillar's body, imaginal cells begin to come up. The caterpillar snuffs them out. It tries to get rid of them. It doesn't know what they're up to. It doesn't recognize them. And it's only when they get together and link up in massive numbers that the immune system fails and the butterfly can continue to be born. And the reason for that immune system attack is that actually the butterfly has a different genome. It's as if the young generation has a different blueprint for the future than the old. So it's actually the job of the caterpillar to protect its old ways long enough for the butterfly to get strong. Because if the old system folds too quickly, there won't be a safety net in place. So the young people have to build that new world safety net, you see, so that things don't crash around their ears too badly. We will have more storms, more tsunamis. All of these things are going to take a lot of resources. I hope they'll take so many resources we won't have enough to make war anymore. Because the way of the future actually is cooperation.